Okay, we're live.
Live? This
Yeah.
is like a live feed?
Yes. We're live.
Okay, well, hello, folks. This is week 2. Sorry we didn't post one yesterday. Already not following through with our promises.
Okay, but we tried.
But we had a few issues yesterday that will be explained today. So, do you want to start off with that, actually? Just a quick, brief
Explanation of what happened. Right, okay, so, well, we go to college, so at our school library, there's these soundproof rooms with really nice microphones. So we said, why would we not use those?
Production rooms. Like, they're meant to do shit like this, like podcasts or anything.
So anyways, we go into a room. Oh my, just technical difficulties up the wazoo. Technical difficulties that took about an hour, I would say.
An hour to find out that we've hit a dead end and that it's not going to be fixed.
Right.
We had the tech guys come help us. This particular guy was just, like, he was like a genius. I could tell he was like a computer genius, and even he was annoyed. And it was just like, when we told him, yeah, we're not going to do this anymore, he was like, he didn't object, basically, because for an hour and a half we had been trying to get the microphone to work, to get the freaking GarageBand to work. It was just, don't need to go into detail about that. We tried. So it wasn't like we were just like, hey, let's not do it on Tuesday. We tried. I had a 2.5 hour class before this freaking podcast.
Yeah.
And I tried. I was like hangry, so hangry. And I had a headache, and I was like, I'm still going to do the podcast. But it didn't work out, so here we are.
We did try, though. There was a lot of effort. Okay, so we're starting off the podcast today with a new segment called Fact or Fiction, and then I decided that I didn't want to do it anymore, so we're going to talk about something else.
So why would you bring that up if we're not going to do that?
We're going to do one Fact or Fiction. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, Fact or Fiction. Humans have the ability to hibernate.
Okay. Fact.
Correct. I have no further details on this.
You don't have any background, no explanation?
No, it's just a fact. So if you guys ever needed a fun fact, humans can hibernate.
Well, for like how long can they hibernate?
I just told you I have no information.
Sorry.
No.
If you could ballpark, what would you think? What's your opinion on how long they can hibernate?
I would say the max 5 days if you're on drugs. If they put you on drugs, if they put you into an induced coma, but that doesn't count as hibernation.
No, it doesn't, because hibernation is on your own. It's natural.
Like, the longest I think I've ever slept for is like 16 hours to 17.
And what was the circumstance? You don't have to go into detail, but were you sick, or you just decided to?
Just exhaustion.
Okay, so now let's take hibernation and put it in the most extreme form. I would say 48 hours. You could hibernate. I don't know. That's kind of pushing it.
Okay, but like Tana Mojo can sleep for 24 hours. That is something, if that's true, that is something out of this world. I've never heard something like that.
Well, like that girl that had mono.
Oh, yeah.
She was like, I haven't literally got out of bed she's like, I'm not just laying there, like, I've been sleeping.
Yeah.
For exhausted. This many days.
Yep.
It's crazy. Okay.
So you have a story, didn't you?
A story? It's more of a complaint.
Oh.
That's what, just to brief everyone, that's what most of my content is going to be for this podcast, is just complaining, getting upset, I don't know, going into somewhat wild topics.
I like to get upset, so let's do that.
I do too. It's my favorite. Like, when I hang out with, like, you or any of my other friends, all we do is, like, complain.
Right.
Or talk about
gossip.
Conspiracies or some crap like that. Nothing. Just yesterday I was in a introduction to children with exceptional needs. So basically children with disabilities. And it can range from physical disabilities or intellectual disabilities. So basically it was I'm not exaggerating, 2.5 hours long. And it's in the evening, so you're already like donezo. It's not like a morning class. Anyways, so we're going on with this lecture. Most of the classes, 99% of the class is made up of women, girls, because it's in the School of Education. So, all girls, I mean, that's kind of how it is for my major, too. And so a lot of these girls are elementary education, secondary education majors. And this one particular girl was, what's it called? Early childhood education major.
Like
so
preschool?
Yeah, it's like from 3 to 5 is like her, I guess, what she's going to school for.
Kindergarten? I don't know.
No, it's not even kindergarten because that would be elementary.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm not an education major. Anyways, anywho, so professor's going on. We're talking about, different cases and things like that of children with disabilities, and this specific case was a girl's cerebral palsy, and they were basically trying to give her like a test to see if she needed to be in the special ed class or with the regular students.
Mainstream.
Yeah, typical students. And so the parents were like, we do not want our daughter in that special education class, and she was nonverbal, so there was she couldn't move either because she had cerebral palsy. So basically he came up with this really specialized test about, how he can measure her IQ to show the school psychologist she doesn't need to be in these special education classes. Well, this girl who's in this early childhood major or whatever was upset at the fact that he was trying to help this girl. And this girl was 7 years old, I think. And she was like, well, why don't they just put her in the special education class? And he was like, because we needed to give her a chance. Not all kids with, that's not a, cerebral palsy, to brief, is not a intellectual disability. It's neuromuscular, And so anyways, she's all, yeah, but you gotta deal with 20 other students, so just, put her in the special ed class. And I was about to turn around and she was about to be knocked into next Tuesday. And don't fucking take this class. Sorry, don't flippin' take this class. Why would you, for me, I feel like this class is just kind of an elective class for education majors, it's something they have to, if you're a CCJ major, that stupid, not stupid, but that class I'm taking isn't CCJ based. It's more theory based,
Yeah.
But it's still under that realm.
I don't know. These kids just don't want jobs when they get older. They're just gonna work, and there's no offense if anybody lives in Arizona. It's a nice state, I guess, if you want to live here. But it's one of those things where nobody's gonna you're not gonna make it to the big leagues. You're gonna work at a city preschool, and that's what she's gonna do. She doesn't even have to deal with kids with special needs. And even then, it's not advanced special needs because they're babies. They just need baby things. They don't need unless it's a physical disability, cerebral palsy or whatever, that sort of thing is different. But any sort of thing, most things else, even I don't know that Down syndrome or anything would be considered it might be a physical, but it's more of an intellectual type of situation.
I understand all that. It's just
well, it's the people that I was saying. You want to go into a major that's based around communication, but you can't hold a conversation with the person sitting next to you. It's these kids get so frazzled at the thought of just interaction. I don't know. They just need a college degree so they can.
No, I'm just pissed at this girl. She's going into education or whatever, and like you said, she may not make it far. But
she won't.
She's looking at these students as numbers to her, as a hassle already. It's how can you go into anything where you interact with humans? I'm not even say children or adults, humans in general, and just look at them as a number. And the teacher was like, well, we needed to give her it was just an anecdote he was telling. There was no room for debate, basically. I don't know why she decided she needed to put her 2 cents into that. But he was like, just because they have a physical disability doesn't mean you can just write them off and be okay. Because he's honestly, some special education classes aren't appropriate for some kids, even with intellectual disabilities,
Yeah.
Especially if they're dealing with a lot of children. I don't know. That was just my story I was going to tell you when I got back from that class. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy, just...
Well, it doesn't surprise me.
It grinds my gears.
Just sock her next time. Just hit her. What are they going to do? They're not going to arrest you. Just say it was self-defense.
What?
I was personally...
it was self-defense as I lunged towards her.
Say it was self-defense. I got triggered by it, and what did you want me to do? I was triggered by that, and just... Whatever happens, happens. I think it's a noble cause.
Alright, next topic.
Okay, so today we're talking about conspiracy theories. If you have never heard of any of these before, I'll link videos for each of them below. But the first one is the Flat Earth Society, which I recently heard of. I barely heard of it, like, let's say, a month and a half ago, if that. Are you kidding? There is a group of people on this earth, which is round, that think the earth is flat.
Yeah, there's a lot of conspiracies that I can fall into a rabbit hole, but with that one, it's just, like, so... I don't know. That I just, I don't even pay attention to it, because I can't associate myself with people who think the earth is flat. I won't even give time to YouTube channels that want to discuss this.
I don't even know. I just was shocked that people, it's not like a small group. It's not a group of 100 to 200 people. It's thousands of people that genuinely believe the earth is flat. Mm-hmm. Like, even kids who are not smart, I mean, all kids are not very smart when they're kids, don't believe the earth is flat. Like, you ask kids know it's round. Where do you get off thinking that the earth is flat? It's basic. What do you think? You're going to take a cruise ship? You're going to go on a freaking Royal Caribbean cruise and you're going to fall off the world?
Well, it's like these same people who, don't think that the earth rotates around the sun. It's like the flat earther weirdos.
If you believe that the earth is flat, I don't know. You need to take a science course.
Not even science.
I would say multiple if you think the earth is flat.
No, that's the problem with these people who have, one-minded ways, is they're not open to discovery or... This isn't even discovery. This is,
No. This has been discovered.
They're not... If they're not... they are choosing to not believe.
It's being stubborn and it's fine. Yeah, well, it's I don't know. I can't even think of something comparable, but it's one of those things where... You just, you're just being defiant. You can't be an active member of society in any way if you just don't accept the basic concepts of the world. Just basic, just standard stuff that everyone knows to be true. I don't know.
Okay, next one. That one, I don't want to spend any more time on flat earth or
Okay, weirdos. So the next one, I don't know. If anybody has any conspiracies about the JFK assassination, that is... So
I don't want to get into that because I don't I'm not that. It's not my.
Oh, you're not familiar with.
I'm familiar. I'm just not.
It doesn't float your boat.
I don't have enough to say about it for it to be relevant. I know that sounds really selfish because I know you love this topic.
Right, I do.
But I feel you know what? Give us a brief. Brief us on that. What's your opinion?
Well, my opinion, it was just, this is the conspiracy. It's not even about the assassination. It's actually about that the CIA killed Marilyn Monroe because Kennedy told her classified information. So it's not even about JFK.
Yeah.
His assassination is I'm enthralled with that.
What's your stance on that?
On Marilyn Monroe or JFK?
Marilyn Monroe. Well, it's both of them because JFK got, if this conspiracy is true.
I don't know, because it's one of those things, I don't know, it's odd. It's an odd thing that they both got killed, but, neither of them are similar ways. The people, I don't know, it could all be cover-up. You can't say that it's not a cover-up. I don't know. Maybe I believe it, maybe I don't.
Just based on the one sentence that you told me right now, the brief description of that theory, I believe it. Come on, you don't think the government or even Hollywood, with all the crap that's going on in Hollywood, they would get someone killed. Hillary has gotten so many people killed. Okay, don't fuck with me if you don't believe that, because there's, like, it's just crazy. I don't know. I just, with government especially, and, like, now you're blending government and Hollywood and, like, her fame in that time. I don't know if, like, their meetups, he was necessarily like, oh my god, here's all the secrets. But he might have told her something, and then, she mysteriously wound up dead. But you could pretty much say that about anyone that dies. Like, oh, they knew too much.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, what was she gonna... I mean, I guess she could have done stuff with that, but I doubt she would have.
Oh, no, next one. That one's kind of boring.
Okay, great. This is going off to a really bad start. If you don't know who Lil Miquela is...
Oh my god. All you have to do if you don't listen to anything else on this podcast, search Lil Miquela on Instagram, YouTube, and Shane Dawson's channel.
So many links below regarding Lil Miquela. Please do your research. It's not spelled the way you think it would be.
Yeah.
There is a Q.
And a U.
Yeah.
And an E and an L.
You gotta put the U after the Q. But I believe it's a real, like, girl.
Do you?
Yeah, I think she's a real girl who sings and, like, does all this stuff. Like,
well, it's physically someone, because someone had to create it, no matter if it's real or not. But you think Lil Miquela, like, face actually looks like that?
No. I definitely don't think she looks like how she is on her Instagram. I think it's some girl, some 13-year-old, 14-year-old girl who's like, I want to be famous, and maybe her dad's a fucking graphic designer or something. Like, that's how I feel like something like that would have come about.
No, but Shane interviewed her on the phone. She didn't want to be... Come on, dude. You gotta keep up with the facts.
I am.
No, so Shane interviewed her, and it sounded like a woman. Like, the voice sounded like a woman. And it still was, like, a tinge of auto-tune. And, like, I couldn't see, like, a little child like me, like, messing around on a computer, like, answering the questions the way that, quotes, Lil Miquela answered.
I don't know. I think it's, like, a person, though. Maybe it is. I feel like everyone, like, just because you're a graphic designer, maybe she's a lady graphic designer. A killer lady graphic designer, and she, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Was bored or didn't have a job or something.
I don't even know if it's so much a conspiracy as it is, to me, creepy. It's, like, wildly creepy.
It's so intriguing. I just want to know who she is. Like, I don't even care about
You know what? Just, oh my god, like Sydney Carlson taking a picture with Lil Miquela?
Like,
how?
Sydney Carlson, Maddie Bragg, I was like, I think Olivia was in that picture too. Just all of them. And then Lil Miquela.
My theory is that they took a picture and then they sent it to whoever is the creator of Lil Miquela. And Lil Miquela, being freaking a whiz at the graphic design or whatever, like, made it look really real in there, because everyone else looks like human beings except Lil Miquela in that picture.
There's no way that any of those girls were fake. I will again link the photo below. Please look at it.
Maybe just insert a photo like on the video as we're talking about it.
But I don't know.
Crazy.
I think she's a little bit real.
Like, that's what I'm asking. Like, what do you mean by that?
Like, okay, I really do think it could just be a graphic designer or
like an avatar
Photoshop,
almost.
I don't know. So yeah, something like that. But I do think it's a real person that it's based off of. Like, I think Lil Miquela, I think if you put her side to side with the creator, she would look relatively similar.
My theories on this is both ends, so I completely agree with you that it could be that. But then I also agree with Shane that it's almost like, yeah, Lil Miquela's real, and that this person almost takes these real photos and makes them look almost fake but real. And, like, everyone's freaking out over it, you know? Because, on the other hand, people are saying, oh my god, this looks so real.
I don't know. It's just like one of those... It's like all these conspiracy theories, I can't wrap my head around any of them. Some of them I'm like, yeah, for sure, I do not believe that. But a lot of them, it's like, if you give me enough evidence, I'll believe just about anything. Like, I will believe anything. If somebody has so much supporting evidence, Oh, absolutely.
What I love about conspiracy theories is when they're proven to be correct. Like, even just last year, even I would say summer of last year, just before we came to school, like all this Hollywood child sex stuff that's going on was a conspiracy theory. And now no one's looking at it as a conspiracy theory, like, well, I'm not. Now I'm looking at it as like, okay, so when's the evidence gonna come out? Because conspiracy theories are like open ended. You're like, is that true? Could not be true. And I love that like this is like coming to light now.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't know. Well, even like Shane's stuff.
Oh, I got a conspiracy theory with that. Should I explain a little bit?
Yeah, let's hear it.
With everything that happened to him.
First preface, Shane Dawson, so if no one knows who he is.
So Shane Dawson's a huge YouTuber, very popular. I'm usually not into going on YouTube and like, just since my friendship with Courtney, I'm starting to like watch YouTubers now, which I don't know, I enjoy. But Shane Dawson's a YouTuber, and he just does weird videos. Like, he'll do music videos. He has his own podcast that's like really huge, and he does like a ton of conspiracy theory videos. And the most recent one that he came out with was Hollywood and child sex, basically. And the conspiracy theory was with that, and I'll give you a timeline. Logan Paul's showing of the dead body came out maybe a week before Shane came out with this video. So, all of a sudden, next day, everyone is tweeting, Shane Dawson's a pedophile, Shane Dawson this, Shane Dawson that. And, this YouTube video apparently came out where it's like, you know, has that scary music in the background and kind of like gives all this person's like opinion on why Shane Dawson's a pedophile. And basically the conspiracy with that, without getting into too many opinions, was that Logan Paul's people hired this guy, gave him money to come out with this video to take the light off of his scandal that he had a week before that. And then the other theory with that is that actually, like, people from Hollywood, whether that means, you know, whoever, like, the big shots over there, also paid this guy to come out with this video because Shane Dawson has a huge outreach. And to basically, because he came out with that Hollywood child sex video, and then all of a sudden everyone was like, Shane Dawson's a pedophile, and none of it was true, by the way. And, yeah, they're just basically saying, like, they had someone from Hollywood go ahead and, like, kind of paint him that way the very next day. Kind of crazy, huh?
I wouldn't doubt that, because that's the same community. It's not like...
Yeah.
It's not like, what's his name, Corey Feldman going after the people in Hollywood, because that's the same community. It's like all Hollywood. But this is like YouTubers. They could do some dirty stuff to each other.
Yeah.
And think about it. You can put stuff up on the internet in like 5 minutes.
Oh,
so you could just attack the shit out of each other back and forth if you wanted to.
The most important part of the whole story, I didn't even tell, was the reason why they were calling him a pedophile was because he has had a podcast for, like, I don't know, like 10 years now. And, like 6 years ago, he came out, like, actually talking about, you know, people looking up child pornography and stuff and saying, like, that's disgusting. And then he made a joke because he has dark humor, and he was like, I don't know who goes online and searches naked babies and, like, gets turned on. But the person who made that video calling him a pedophile, like, obviously cut and edited all that part of the podcast out, and, like, all you hear is, I think it's sexy, like, when people search naked babies. Like, it was just totally botched. It was just weird. I mean, it didn't really get far. His fan base wasn't really, like...
Yeah, nobody's too shaken by it, I would say, because I think... I don't know. Like, everyone would be like, no, he isn't. Because he has videos where he's... Like, he talks about it all the time. How disgusting it is and how against it he is and, like, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. And he even, like, 2 weeks before any of this happened, he came out saying, like, he's actually gonna come out with... Like, because the conspiracies that he covers are more, like, popular, I would say. Like, everyone knows about them. But he said he was gonna get into a lot darker topics because he feels like that he should. And then all of a sudden, all this stuff happens, you know?
Yeah.
So that's just kind of like a mini conspiracy within the conspiracy community.
Okay, so the last and final conspiracy, this one gets me a little amped up. I recently watched this girl, Kendall Ray's video on the Denver airport conspiracy theory.
See, this is why I wanted to look over the topics before, because I don't know about this one.
Oh, I'm just going to tell you about it.
Okay.
Okay, so this conspiracy, if you've never been to the Denver airport, watch the video first because you won't know what's going on. But basically, everyone thinks at the Denver airport there's something underneath it. And, like, everybody thinks that...
Oh, I've heard this!
Yeah.
Continue.
Everybody thinks that if there's an apocalypse or if something happens, that it's in Denver. So Colorado people are like, yeah, it's halfway. It's in the middle from LA to New York. So anybody that's important is in those places. We want them. So they're like, yeah, fly them out and we'll hide them under here. And it's supposed to be like this huge security thing and whatever. And people think it's like a city, that it could be a city down there. Well, that's bullshit. There's no way there's a city. I don't care what you think.
No, I've been hearing that crap since I was little.
You're not popping off the top of this airport and you're not going to find a city.
You're going to hate me because I believe it.
Oh, God. Okay, and then the other thing is people believe they're housing aliens. Are you kidding? Aliens?
In the Denver airport?
In the underneath. So, like, where the baggage claim. So the reason Denver airport, what they say, is the reason why there's so much underground space is that when they first built the airport, they were trying to put in this automatic bagging system, automatic baggage claim, whatever. So obviously that was going to take a lot of room to do it by itself. But I guess last minute before the airport opened, it like didn't work. Something with it doesn't work. And so instead of like paying to fix it, they were like, screw it. It's too much work. We need to get this airport open. But I mean, that part, like, some of it's a little sketchy.
Yeah.
Some of it's like, you're like, eh. But at the same time, it's like, come on, you're not going to go to LAX. For all we know, LAX could have the same exact thing underneath it. And you're not going to be like, I really want to go underneath it to the baggage claim of LAX. Like, I don't know. I just have this feeling you would open up the bottom of that thing. People are all, oh my God. And there's going to be nothing in there. It's going to be exactly what they said.
Okay, consider this, though. So what I've heard about that was, like, there's been, like, murals, weird murals and shit on the inside of the airport.
Yeah, there's one mural that's, like, it's like a satanic army man guy,
Yeah.
I think, and he's holding a knife and he's stabbing something and, like, it's, like, showing him with kids, like, he's killing kids.
It's almost like apocalyptic themed.
It's scary. The photo itself is scary.
No, okay, but consider this. So, the reason why, I believe too, like, yeah, LAX, I'm sure, doesn't have an underground city, right? The thing about Denver, think about the location. Mountains, there's tons of room to build. We already know, like, as a society, U.S. society, we already know that Area 51 is underneath the ground. So that's already been done. Like, they've already accomplished that a long time ago. Like, what we've seen from satellite images of Area 51 is just, like, basically kind of like a movie set prop. Like, nothing's in the buildings because everything's underground. And the space that they use for these underground, like, Area 51 could hold, like, 2 jets side by side. It's, like, crazy, like, how much space it can hold. And that's just, like, the runways of, like, the planes that could fit in there. Also, this stuff is becoming mainstream because I've seen, like, where, what is it, end of the world, like, scaredy cats, like, start building stuff underground.
I don't know.
Like, I've seen where they've made, like, an entire community underground just in case, like, a disaster were to happen. Not necessarily the end of the world, but, like, a disaster where you don't have access to water, food. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, this has kind of been in the works for a while, and I would believe that. Yeah, I wouldn't rule out that it's totally like, oh my God, that's such a ridiculous, like, thought to have.
Well, what is it? Because it opened, I want to say, 95 or 85 or something. It opened relatively recently, I would say. But I guess there's a time capsule that they're supposed to open in 100 years from the opening, and people are all, What's in the time capsule?
Oh God, there's tons of time capsules that I'm like, what's in the time capsule?
I don't know. I just don't believe the city one. Like, what the hell? They're gonna have Starbucks with Apple Pay down on the bottom of the Denver airport?
That's not what they're talking about. They're talking
but
about
it's kind
survival crap.
Like, I believe a bunker, sure. But it's like, I don't know. Like, I just have a feeling that there's so much, I don't know, that you would... In that situation, you're not going to be able to get to the Denver airport. How are they going to clear everyone out of the Denver airport? They don't have room for everyone that's going to be passing through anything. They're not going to have room. So what, are they going to kill off everyone? I mean, I guess if there's an apocalypse...
This is what you're also not considering. Be open-minded, Courtney. Don't be closed-minded. That this specific so-called underground city isn't for the common folk. It's for the prestige... like government officials, celebrities, like we're all done. So like this airport does not concern us common people.
Right. That's I completely understand.
And obviously, yes, not everyone's gonna take a plane if something's happening to this Denver airport and then go underground. But I believe that there are ways that the most important people will get there first. It doesn't have to be this big production. I'm sure there's entrances where it's not through the freaking airport. You know what I mean? Like, I even believe that, I don't know. It's very realistic to me. I don't know why it is. It's just very realistic.
Well, it's just like they have interviewed all these baggage claim guys who work in the baggage claim, who work underneath of the airport, and they're like, there's literally nothing there. There is nothing. Yeah. Like, I mean, sure, it's a cover-up. Sure, they could pay him. But really, why are you gonna go? Like, that's a fucking big airport. It's a big airport. It's not a small place. A lot of people fly out of there every day. Like, why would you not do it at, like, somewhere else? Like, I would think of Denver as being, like, a main city.
Because of the access of airway that goes to it. You're not going to take a small little airport and then, direct everyone to go to that airport. Like, the whole concept of it is, like, no one would suspect an airport, so that's why. And it's, like, easy to get there. If you're important.
Well, they have this horse. I don't know. I just don't believe it. But they have this horse that I guess, I don't know what his title is, but he made this structure of a horse, and it's just this creepy damn thing. It's this humongous horse, and the guy who made it died while he was making it because one of the arms or something came off and, like, hit him in the head. And so he died.
Okay.
But, like, I guess this thing, it just looks demonic, and if you go a certain angle, its eyes flash red. It's just a scary thing.
Yeah, I like stuff like that, because there's tons, like, I feel like people harp on, like, the main ones, but there's, like there's innuendos everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just creepy, and it's kind of, like, exciting to, like, find them and stuff. But.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so,
Well, we have chicken. I'm cooking chicken right now for dinner.
In the slow cooker.
A crock pot. So, that's what we're going to be eating tonight.
Very nice.
It's going to be good. We might start posting a little bit more frequently. Don't count on it. I probably shouldn't have said that, should I?
No, you should say, I was saying, okay, this is my issue last week, was that you were saying every Tuesday. I'm like, yeah, you could tell them that we're gonna post more. I'm more okay with that than, like, setting a schedule right now. Because I feel like our schedule is gonna be more posts than not posts.
Yeah, so look out. I have all of our links below. If you'd like to listen on SoundCloud,
that's available.
That is a very good way to listen. Remotely present, yes, on SoundCloud. But if you do want to see the interactive part, the photos and such, check out the YouTubes.
Remotely present, like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe,
give
us
a comment. Notification bell.
Comment what your favorite conspiracy theory is, if you have one that's different or anything. Or if you think any of these are true or if they're fake, and you have to say why. Okay. Thanks you for participating in Remotely Present.
I had fun this time. They won't be all this serious. Some of them might be just like us talking back and forth, so.
Not serious.
Not serious.
Very playful and fun.
Oh my God, stop. Okay, goodbye.
Okay, bye.